It's your boy, Louis Waves, and this episode is brought to you and sponsored by Usinco. For all official merch and gear, visit usinco.com or follow them at us_and_co on Instagram. Stay oosed up and catch the wave, baby. Jocelyn Allo of the Oklahoma Sooners. She's the best player in the nation. I mean, she won the 2021 USA's Softball Player of the Year, and it's an honor to have her on. And so what have you been up to? What's new? Where you at right now?
Hey guys, I'm Jocelyn. Nice to meet you. I'm from Hawaii, and right now I'm kind of it's been a really busy summer, quite honestly. So I got done with softball in June, and I've kind of just been traveling back and forth. Went home for a little bit, and now I'm in Houston right now for my niece's first birthday. So that'll be exciting. And then I have a college game that I'm going to coach in, and then I'll be home for like a week or so probably. And then, I'll go back to Oklahoma. So it's been a very eventful summer.
Oh, busy. Okay, let's rewind back a month or so. So national championship. How was okay? So I saw a couple crazy stats on that. This year's was the most viewed national championship or college playoffs ever. So can you take me back? Like, how was that? What was different? Because you guys have been to the playoffs like me numerous times, and especially in your career. What was different about this year?
I just feel like this year, especially after COVID, a lot of people were looking forward to not only softball, but just sports in general. And I feel like this year, and I'm so happy that a lot of people have invested into watching softball because it is a really fun sport to watch. And it's just fun to see women passionate about the sport that they play, because I feel like women sometimes will always get downplayed of their game and stuff, but it's like, come on, like we play the same game as guys, you know what I'm saying? So it was crazy experience. And to have, I think there was like 13,000 something people there. To have 13,000 people like chanting your name and screaming whenever you do something good was nuts. And I remember my freshman year walking in for the first time and thinking like, whoa, this is crazy. And then I walk in 4 years later as a senior, and it's like, dang, like it never gets old walking into that stadium and everyone just chanting Boomer Sooner, honestly.
So you said 13,000, and that was just how many seats were there. I'm like, when I was watching it on TV tuning in, I seen a lot of people in the parking lot. So that was pretty cool. I mean, I feel like they need to build bigger stadiums. So I don't know who's in charge of all that, but you need to get on it, because you guys also had more views than the men's baseball college series, right?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, how does that feel to one up them? Does it give you guys come on now, we need more things for women, or just women's sports in general?
Yeah, for sure. Not taking anything away from the men. It was a really good World Series to watch as well. But like, for as far as women's sports, I think it just goes to show, like, if you build the stadiums, people will come. So we just need to make more upgrades, and I think that it'll happen here in the near future. So I'm not too worried about it. And I'm always a really strong advocate for what the future is going to look like and what the next generation of girls are going to play in. So I'm a strong advocate for just us getting the recognition that we deserve.
And you guys, it's very much deserved. And I feel like you and a handful of other, you guys definitely, left your legacy. And this year, you guys set the tone. I mean, you guys were already building, softball in general, but like this year was like, kind of that stamp, like, okay, you guys opened a lot of eyes, especially social media wise. So I'm definitely happy about that. So talking about the World Series, a lot of people, did you guys feel like you guys had a target on your back? Because I know you guys lost the first round.
So we lost the first.
Okay, so I was, I was rooting for you guys the whole way. But I feel like after the first game, people were kind of like, I don't know. They were like gunning for you guys. They were like, I felt like people were starting to hate. They're like, you know what I mean? They wanted to kind of see you
Mhm.
guys fall. So how'd you guys like handle that? And how did you personally like? Did you have to rally your team, or how did that process turn out?
Yeah. So after we lost the first game, it was definitely like we had to reflect back on what we did wrong and stuff. And definitely we weren't playing our game that game. And after that, we all just kind of rallied as a team and we said like, look, we don't want to go home and we're not going to go home. So it's you win or you go home.
Mhm.
And we were not about to go home. So we really just rallied together and we just balled. We played our game. Like
Yeah.
I don't think we ever took one game off, honestly. Even when we lost against Florida State the first game, we weren't playing our game, but we knew that we would avenge kind of every loss. So
Mhm.
I was not worried about the next two, quite honestly. After we beat UCLA, I knew we were going to win the championship.
Okay. Was that because they're like the like a top tier? I mean, they're all top tier, but was it just
No, it wasn't even like UCLA is a really good team,
mhm.
but like our momentum just all momentum just shifted our way.
Okay, you could feel it, huh? You could feel the
Yeah,
energy.
for sure.
Okay. Who was
Mhm.
the toughest opponent? Who would that be?
Um, you know what? I got to give it to JMU. Odyssey
Okay.
Alexander, she is a competitor, and I'm just happy that she got to show the world, like, hey, mid majors can do this too. You know what I'm saying? And she can compete. And yeah, she's a really good pitcher. Her team's a really scrappy team and very well coached. So yeah, I think JMU definitely gave us a run for our money for sure. But yeah, I think personally they were the toughest.
Okay. Shout out to JMU because I'm gonna be honest. But before the World Series, I said, James, who's this? Because I played at I don't know if you call it mid major, but I played at New Mexico State, as you can see. I'd say, but yeah, so we definitely, I know, I have a chip on our shoulder. So I definitely
Yeah,
yeah, man.
for sure.
When I saw them coming up, I was like, okay. So home runs. Do you what's your nickname? What do they call you? What do they call you? Because I know, look, every time I'm watching TV, you sending that ball like to the moon. I'm like, yo, what is going like? Why do you guys keep throwing it to her? What's the secret? What's the special like? How do you like how do you do that? Like that is unheard of. And then you broke the Oklahoma Sooner record. Yeah. So like, what is it like? Because everyone in the like I'm talking about everyone. I'm like my football chats like Twitter, Instagram. They're like, yo, this girl does not play around. So like, yeah, what would you say is the secret to that? Like,
Um, it's just hard work, honestly, and
mhm.
um, I really wanted to do. I wanted to play baseball and t-ball at like a really young age. So, my sister was 5. How the story started. My sister was 5, and she was playing t-ball, and I was too young to play t-ball. I'm only a year younger than her, so I didn't make the age limit. And then I was crying to
Wow.
my dad, and then he was like, "Okay, like since you're crying so much, like I'll take you to the park every night and we'll hit balls." So we would hit 500 balls, pick them up, hit 500 more every night, and it was just the reps. Honestly, I think that set me apart from a lot of other 4-year-olds who's what 4-year-olds hitting 1,000 balls. You know what I'm
You
saying?
were
But
4 years old hitting a
yeah,
thousand.
I wanted to.
That
And
is
then
insane. Okay.
yeah,
You
and
are
then
literally
I
built
grew up.
different.
Yeah, and then I grew up and I was always like a really good power hitter. I was like 3-4 hole on all the boys team, all the boys baseball teams I played on. I was 3-4 hole and all the softball teams I played on. And then once I started to like seek better competition out in Hawaii and got better than them, I seeked out better competition in California and competed there and have just continued to seek out competition even on the international level too. So
Right.
yeah, it's just been a crazy journey. But it's definitely a lot of hard work and dedication for sure. And just your will to want to do something. And I don't just do something for my own sole purposes. I have a lot of other bigger reasons why I do things. And a lot of those have to do with like, I just want to provide for my family. I want to have the Polynesian community just someone to look up to in a
Salute,
girl spot,
salute.
not just a guy spot. But yeah, I definitely a big advocate for my Polynesian community and just them showing them that you can have these kinds of opportunities with hard work and good grades in school for sure.
Talking about Hawaii, okay, competition. So how is the softball recruited? Do the recruiters come out there? How is it? Because I came from a state. I was raised in. Well, I lived in Hawaii, and I was raised in Alaska. But like no
Mhm.
recruiters came out just because we're too far. So the recruiting did you have to travel a lot, or was the recruiting
Yeah.
there?
So I actually played for a Hawaii travel ball team, and we would just travel to like a sparkler tournament.
Mhm.
My softball players would know that tournament. But then after that, I actually played for a California travel ball team. So I played for Bat Busters, and the Bat Busters have a lot of like college ties. So I didn't really have to do, fortunately, I didn't have to send emails. I didn't have to do kind of any of that. They would just come and watch the Bat Busters play, and they would
Okay.
be like, okay, yep, I want her. Yep, I want her. So that's the kinds of connections that
Yeah.
my coach, Mike Stith, had with college coaches. So yeah, he's a very well-known college coach in the travel ball community,
Mm.
and yeah, just a great person, great program to come from. So yeah, I'm
Okay.
definitely thankful for him.
Yeah, I just asked that just because I was literally one of those ones that, I was sending emails. Like I'm talking
Yeah,
about 1,000 emails, during the
yeah,
recruiting process. It's a tough recruiting process. And,
it
there's
is.
millions of athletes out there. I didn't get, I'm talking about, I wasn't getting no replies. I was like, please, I'm just like all
Mhm.
caps. Cause I ended up going to junior college, and junior college is like,
It's tough. My dad went to JUCO too. My
okay,
dad
he
and my
played
mom.
football.
Yeah, he
Oh,
played
okay.
football at Laney Community College. That's where he met my mom.
Wait, where at?
Laney,
Oh, is that in California?
yeah, in
Northern
NorCal.
California?
Mhm.
Oh, they were on the Last Chance U, right? Is that the team?
Yeah, they were. That obviously wasn't my dad's team, but yeah, he was on Last Chance U,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Laney.
okay. I mean, your dad knows like how tough it is. Like it's
Mhm.
either you really it's do or die in junior college.
Yeah.
So so do you have anything to say? What do you recommend for the junior college softball players out there that are trying to grind it and make it out? Do you have any suggestions?
Definitely one for sure is have your grades good, because
Mhm.
colleges aren't going to want you if you don't have good grades. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just keep faith that there is a home for everybody. It might not be D1, might not be D2 or whatever, but just know that there's a home for you, and you're going to impact the program wherever you go. So definitely just keeping faith in the process and trusting the process.
Exactly, exactly. And yeah. So I would say piggyback on that. I would say the same thing because it literally took me all my faith. I barely like
All my
recruiting
faith.
yeah, I'm talking about everything. I was praying every day. I still pray every day, but like I was like, Lord, like, please. So yeah, thankfully I got New Mexico State. Then I had other offers after that. But yeah, junior college, keep the faith, trust the process, and yeah, keep your grades up.
Mhm.
Okay. So you're the first Polynesian on my show. So I'm very thankful for that. I feel like Polynesians, like, I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like we're like close. I don't know. We're just very close, no matter if
We
you're
are.
Hawaiian,
Every
Samoan.
Polynesian I met, I always go and I hug them like I've known them forever when I just met them that day.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I tell people is like like I could be from New Mexico. And if I run into another Polynesian in Florida or anywhere it is, we're, brother, sister, we're cousins, or it's just
Yeah.
all love, at the end of the day.
Mhm.
So yeah, growing up in Hawaii, how was that? Like how was the culture growing up? How has the Polynesian culture affected, your lifestyle or your collegiate career?
Yeah, growing up in Hawaii, I definitely wouldn't change anything about me growing up there. I'm very prideful at where I'm very prideful in where I come from. So, yeah, I definitely miss Hawaii anytime that I am away, but whenever I do play, I always carry a piece of Hawaii with me. So whenever I do the home runs, I'll do the shaka coming in and then I'll fly in. And that's just like a testament to my home state, you know, and um, any interviews I do for the most part, I always say shout out to Hawaii at the end because I know that Hawaii is watching. But yeah, I've influenced a lot of the girls on just Hawaiian customs too. Like whenever they come into my house, they always take off their shoes before they come in.
Yeah.
Um, they really like spam musubis for sure now because of me. Hawaiian music, my coach, she loves Hawaiian music. But yeah, just kind of showing the girls Polynesian culture because a lot of them didn't even really know what it was. So for me, just to take it as, oh, I can teach you this, stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely am very prideful in where I come from and definitely love to just let people know who I am and my story. So yeah, I wouldn't change growing up in Hawaii for anything.
For the Polynesian, like younger females or even males, um, what advice would you give them, if they're looking and seeking to play a sport or go Division 1, go to Oklahoma? What would you say
Mhm.
to that that young Polynesian youth?
Definitely keep the values that you grew up with.
Mhm.
Always keep God first, keep your family first, school, then sports. I feel like in that order is what worked best for me personally. But just to know, like, poly breeds, we are a different breed, and to just own what you are, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we've always had to work a little harder to get this sort of recognition that we deserve. So just own it whenever you're in that moment. Just take it all in and go all out, honestly. And just work hard, like I said. Um, I feel like polys are all the polys I grew up with are definitely blue collar type mentalities. So yeah, never lose sight of who you are because we're really great people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked that just because I mean I look up to you. I mean you're younger than me, but I still like, you know what I'm saying? Like it really does it's a different, I mean, there's tons of great athletes out there, high performing athletes, but when I see a Polynesian, it's just definitely it just hits different, because like you said, sometimes we have to work a little harder.
Mhm.
There's not as many of us as there, other people. So I think
Yeah.
that's another reason why we're so close. But then that's why we have to, I guess set that wave, set that path. And so
Yeah.
I mean you're up there with the Tuas, the DJ on the Leles, like you're up there, you know what
Yeah.
I mean, with the top tiers. And so like, you know, yeah, man. So it's so cool that to have, I mean, everyone looking up to you, but then the young poly kids, looking up to you because,
Mhm.
yeah, man, when I was younger, there wasn't as many, you know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, I
Yeah.
grew up a Steelers fan, but the only reason was because I saw Troy Polamalu.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh man, he's Samoan. I'm Samoan. I was like, I could do it,
Yeah.
So the fact that you're out here, I mean, you're setting like the bar, like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like everyone that comes before you, they do their part, setting the bar. But I mean, you're taking it to another level, and you really do. I mean, I feel like you're planting those seeds and a lot of these, these young minds, these young Polynesian minds. So that's very cool to see, because they see you and they're like, dude, I can be the best softball player in the nation, or I can be this, I
Mhm.
can go to the SBs. I
Yeah.
personally, I don't know if I saw Tua at the SBs, but I saw Joss at the SBs. I saw Joss at the SBs. But yeah, so it's definitely, I say it does bring a lot of joy to my heart, and it brings a big smile to my face. When I see,
Yeah.
Polynesians, excelling and everything. So it's definitely cool to
Mhm.
see us, reach new levels. So definitely salute and shout out to
Thank
Jocelyn Alo. Okay.
you.
How did it feel to break that home run record?
I kind of was I kind of knew it was going to happen going into the World Series. So, I mean, I'm not trying to sound, you know what I mean? I'm not
You
trying
can
to
own it,
hype.
own it. I mean, you knew it. That's confidence.
Yeah,
That's what. Yeah, that's
I'm not
confidence.
trying to hype myself up, but I knew it was going to happen
Right.
at the World Series. So I was just like, okay, it's just another home run, whatever. But I definitely have a lot of bigger things coming up. So I wasn't really like, oh, single season, whatever. But
Yeah.
I have much bigger things that I want to accomplish this next coming year. But yeah, it felt really good. And then kind of at the end of season, whenever we won, after all of that, I really just sat back and was just kind of reflecting on my season. And I was like, dang, like 34 home runs is a lot of home runs. Like you did that.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. That is unreal. Okay. So and that was against Georgia?
Against Georgia, against Georgia, I broke it.
Okay.
31.
So do you think do you have another year left or that was your final year?
I do. I have one more
Okay.
year.
So do you think you can break that or what is
Yeah,
that
I think so.
okay?
I think so.
Okay. Is there a number you're aiming for or you just trying to break it?
Just break it.
Okay. I believe you can. I'm not gonna lie. I
Yeah.
smell, I don't know. Hawaii is the 50th state, right?
Yeah.
I smell 50. I mean, that's just me, 50 piece. I mean that, but we'll see, I ain't gonna jinx you, but I believe in you. I believe in you. Right now we got some fan questions. So like I said, I chose a couple. We have a guy asking, have you ever felt the love for the game start to go away? And if so, how'd you get that back?
Yes, my sophomore year. So I came off a really hot freshman year. I hit the 30 home runs. And my sophomore year, I came in and I was like, okay, like I need to do this again, whatever. And I was putting a lot of pressure on myself just to hit home runs. And it eventually made me lose love for the game.
Okay.
And my coach actually had to sit me out for a week because she could tell that I was putting a lot of unnecessary pressure on myself. So when we played against Kansas, they traveled up to Kansas. I didn't practice that whole week. I didn't play that whole weekend.
Mhm.
Couldn't do nothing with the team. I didn't go to no morning weights. I didn't go to anything. So literally, she took softball away from me.
Okay.
Um, and just reflecting on that week, like obviously in the early stages of the week when she told me like, listen, you're not doing anything this week, just chill this week. I was like, really, like, are you serious? Like, just give me more. I need more. Just give me more reps. You know what I'm saying? And as later on in the week progressed, I was like, okay, like, do I really want to play softball? Like, I was on the verge of quitting softball, I swear.
What?
And yeah, and I literally could not stand to go to practice. I was miserable at practice. I was miserable in the game
Mhm.
just because I wasn't performing at what I thought I could perform at. So yeah, that week I was just like, do I really want to play softball? Is this what I want to do? And the more the game was away from me, the more I missed it. So when I came back that next week, I literally could care less what happened in the box. I could care less if we won or lost. I was just happy to be back out on the field. So yeah, I definitely had to grow up really quick in that moment. But yeah, I was on the verge of quitting softball.
Wow. Well, we're definitely glad you did it, but
Yeah.
sheesh. So okay, handling the adversity right there. Wow, that is crazy. Do you think so reflecting on it now, you're glad it happened? You're
Oh,
glad like
100%.
okay,
Yes.
okay. I mean, you never want to hear that like a coach come to you and be like, hey, because it's I don't know how to like whenever I heard things like that, I'm like, I'm going home, like, or like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you think it's because of the Division 1 lifestyle, like the college athlete, like there because literally we are so busy, so do you think that contributed to it?
I think that, and then just what media outlets say, like, oh, Jocelyn bound to have like another really hot season, and
Mhm.
a lot of people saying these things, a lot of whoever saying whatever, and like literally now that I think about it, I think back and I'm like, okay, no one said I have to hit another 30. No one said I have to do this. No one said I have to do that. So it was all mind games. But thank God now I know how to get out of those moments.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, a lot of athletes, man, we go through that same thing. Because we just, I don't know, maybe it's just because that's just what we're, I guess, trained to do. Like we just want to perform so high.
Hmm.
So I definitely, there's a lot of athletes out there, watching this, and they're like, oh, okay, if she can do this, and you saw the light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, as you can see, you're breaking all these records.
Yeah,
Stay in there. Don't put that pressure on yourselves. Um, it's something that you have to trust, and yeah, it's part of the process. But we're
yeah.
definitely glad that you didn't give up, and yeah, we're
Mhm.
just.
That's crazy to think about. Like I was literally like about to say I'm done playing softball.
Yeah, no,
Well,
I mean, that blows my mind, and
thank God I
yeah,
didn't.
no, yeah, and that's just goes to show, like, man, if you stick through, the hard times, you stick through that adversity, great things, could come out from it.
Mhm.
So stick in there, guys. Um, yeah, we have another question. This guy's asking, what do you think about no MLB for women? And yeah, he says he would love to see it. How do you feel about
Um,
that?
I think there is pro softball. It's just not as big as MLB is.
Mhm.
Um, but the pro softball league is definitely nothing compared to Major League Baseball. Um, and some players here actually have to travel to Japan to play professionally so that they can get paid a little bit more here and there. So
Mhm.
it's definitely hard to make a living off of softball. But I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We
Right.
just got to grind a little bit harder. So, I mean,
Mm.
there's nothing I can do about it, but
Yeah.
it sucks that there isn't. But I mean, it's just the world we live in, you know?
Yeah. It definitely sucks. So do you know if you want to play professionally, or is that in your plans, or okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Mhm.
you think you'd have to go to Japan?
Yeah. I want to though. I
Yeah.
am really invested into the Japanese culture.
Okay.
Just growing up in Hawaii, we have a lot of like Japanese customs and stuff. So I know I kind of fit in perfectly. Not that I would look like them, but just all of the customs and stuff and
Yeah.
the food I know I'd be okay with. The language is obviously going to be a little bit harder, but
You can speak
I mean,
Japanese?
no,
Oh, I'm just kidding.
but the translators there. I wish.
Oh, okay, okay.
Um, but yeah, I definitely am gonna play pro after, and just honestly play for as long as I can because I'm having a blast playing right now. Just happy to be out on the field and just doing my thing, you know?
No, I'm glad to hear that. I'm happy to hear that. I walked away from the game 2019. I had actually one more year left to play, but I graduated,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, I had one more year left to play, but like I just felt like I was burnt out, right? And so this is a funny story. So this was 2019, the last time I played, and I've never had the urge to ever go back. Like I told myself, hey, once you hang up the cleats, bro, you done. Like, I've never had the urge. But 2 weeks ago, there was a dude I work with, and he's actually from Hawaii, Samoan dude, and he plays semi-pro out here. And he's like, yo, Oos, like my team, bro, we suck. Like we're not the greatest. We're 0-5. We're about to go play El Paso, the best team in the league. And I don't know why, like maybe it was because the underdog story, and he was Samoan. Like I was like, you know what? Like maybe this is a good idea. So whatever, but I go out and like, yeah, there's my neck hurts, still hurt, my foot still hurt. Like it was just bad. And like the turf we played on, it was a paintball turf. It wasn't even like a real grass or anything. So like
Mhm.
for my first tackle, I would tackle the dude and my head hit the ground and it was like concrete. I was like, boom. I was
Oh,
like,
ouch.
oh yeah. And so like it just didn't feel like the
Great help.
spirit. Yeah, the spirit was there. But my actual body, yeah. So I definitely, I'm happy to hear that you're gonna play for as long as you can. Cause I feel like, man, once you walk away, like it's just, I feel like your body knows, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you'll always be
Yeah, for
athletic
sure.
and like, you'll always have that, like, we'll always be, we'll always have that juice, but like, man, your body is crazy. And I'm starting to like, I was one of those people that, I mean, I'll eat whatever. I'll go work out, eat, anything. But now I'm like, oh, dude, like I want to put more healthy things in my body. Like maybe a salad does sound good today. Maybe I
Mhm.
won't go eat some musubi. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm very happy, and I know a lot of people are happy to hear that you're gonna keep playing for as long as you can. What would you like to accomplish by the end of your college career?
By the end of my college career, I would like to have my degree first. I definitely do want to graduate first. Um, two, I want to have another national championship. Three, I want the home run record to have Jocelyn name on it.
Another
Um,
one.
yeah. And Um, yeah, that's kind of it. I definitely just want to be remembered as like a good teammate too. Whenever people say like whenever they were to ask my teammates and stuff like, "Oh, what do you remember most about Jocelyn Owl?" I don't want them to say like, "Oh, she hit all these home runs and whatever." I just want them to say like, "Oh, like she was a really good person. She was a really good teammate, really good player, really good leader," stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely that's the impact that I want to leave this last year for sure. Just being a good teammate and a good person too.
Okay. Okay. So what are you getting your degree in, if you don't mind me
Human
asking?
relations, no, human relations. So it's definitely going to help me a lot with just kind of relating to people on different levels. Like obviously, I can relate to you on a athlete level and athlete's perspective, but I can relate to other people on other levels and stuff like that. So really just learning how to talk to different kinds of people and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely think it'll help me as I go on in my playing and maybe coaching career. We'll see.
Okay. No, that's very cool because I think that's another Polynesian trait we have. Like we can just, I don't know, like
Oh, I can.
I right, and it's so cool. And it's like I think it's normal, but like other people are
Yeah.
like, dude, how do you
No,
just,
my
I'm like,
close friends is so weird that I can just talk to anyone. Like
mhm,
where I was sitting with her watching a travel ball game and I was talking to other college coaches. Like it's so weird. I'm a player, like I play against them,
mhm.
but like I just talk to anyone.
Right,
It's
right.
so weird.
We're just welcome. I just feel, I don't
I
know, like
know.
yeah, and people always ask me that too. They're like, "Yo, how could you?" I'm like, it's just my culture. Like, I think that's just how we were brought up. I
Yeah.
don't really, I just see everyone as like, you know what I mean? Like, no matter their title, this
Mhm.
and that. I'm like, hey, bro, like, it's just so
Mhm.
natural to us. And that's why for my like education wise, I'm getting my master's in public administration, and so
You are. That's so good. How
yeah.
much do you have left? Just one? Couple?
How much? What?
How much left till you graduate?
Oh, May. So May
Oh,
2022. Yeah, because
that's so
I started
fun.
my program last year in the fall. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I've been going through it,
Is
but
it a
like
two-year
yeah,
program?
it's like a year and a half, 2 year program.
Yeah.
But I mean, I honestly love it. And I feel like my master's program or just master's program, just because it's so focused on what you want to do, I think it's a little easier than your bachelor's. I mean,
No,
maybe
that's what a lot of people say about the master's program. It's because it's specific towards something. You're not just a broad spectrum of this. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So
right.
that's good.
Yeah. And
Oh,
so
that's
that
exciting. You're
Yeah,
doing
it's
a
cool.
master's.
Yeah. So I definitely, and I was always the type like, like I'm only going to school because I'm playing football. Like I'm only
Mhm,
blah blah blah. And then when I
mhm,
graduated, I was like, oh shit, like it kind of hit me.
mhm.
The transition was a little different. But I'm definitely glad because like I said, I graduated my bachelor's in 2019. I didn't start my master's program until 2020, but it gave me some time to realize, hey, what did I learn from sports that I can, contribute, or just like what am I good at? What
Yeah.
what do I enjoy doing? So I definitely
Mhm.
yeah, enjoy doing that because one of the other reasons why I started this podcast was because I found myself like, hey, I have a bachelor's degree and like I was applying everywhere, although I was boxing, but after boxing, I was like trying to find jobs and like I wasn't
Yeah.
getting hired for like, and it's
Mhm.
not to like unmotivate people out there, but it's just to show people like, hey, like you gotta kind of have a plan. You gotta have a plan. You gotta
Yeah,
have,
sure.
something set up. And I didn't, but I was just like, I'll figure it out. So yeah, I'm definitely glad I found my master's program. And yeah, literally like your bachelor's degree. I'm not saying like you can't do nothing with it, because you really can. It's just like, say if you got a nursing's bachelor's
No,
or
it's
something
hard.
like
A
that.
lot of people out here have masters now. A lot of people have a
Yeah,
master's.
yeah. And you, in this day and age, so for all my athletes out there, if you can get your master's paid for, if you got that extra year, do it, please,
Do it.
because that the
Take
masters,
every resource that you can. So like as long as the
yes.
school pays for it, do it.
Exactly. And so yeah, I never thought I was like, I don't need no masters. Like, come on, I don't need no masters. I am a master. No, just like, but yeah, I just didn't think so. But yeah, so I'm definitely glad I am getting my master's. And yeah, so with that, like I have you know, 2 semesters worth of, coursework. And so I applied with a job for the city that I'm in. And so I actually got hired. So I'm in the process of getting
Yeah,
hired.
that's good.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm happy, it's my first like corporate or big boy job. And so it definitely made me
Yeah.
happy. And having that master's on there, like saying that, like it definitely, I'd say to help. So yeah, I'm definitely, you know, I definitely would advise you guys out there, if you guys can get your master's, get it. You you don't
Mhm.
have to rush into it, but like, figure, take some time to think about it, but definitely
Yeah.
advise that. What is your favorite play or highlight?
Got it. Definitely it was my third at bat against Florida State in game two, the go ahead home run. Um, that was by far the highlight of like playing, but the highlights for me off the field, after I won Player of the Year, they gave me the trophy.
Mhm.
Obviously, it was over Zoom because of COVID issues,
All right.
but they gave me the trophy later, like 2 days later, and then I gave it to my dad after what game was it? After we beat Georgia, and we were heading back to the hotel, and I gave him the trophy, and he just started crying, just kind of right there outside of the bus. So that was definitely a surreal moment for me, and yeah, just to have my whole family there too was really nice for that moment. But yeah, definitely actually hugging him after I won.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so would you say, because we got questions saying, who's your biggest inspiration? Would you say your father is your biggest inspiration?
Kind of just my whole family, but my
Okay,
dad's kind of the main guy behind it. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And okay, so dealing with the NIL, the new rules, what steps are you taking, and like how do you feel about all that? And then where can they support you?
Definitely, I think it's a really great thing for athletes, but it's definitely gonna help a lot of athletes grow up in a sense, because not only now do you have to represent yourself and kind of brand yourself, you have to make sure you're still performing in the classroom, you make sure you're still performing in on the field. So just kind of learning to prioritize things as you need to. But yeah, I'm definitely really excited for this, and kind of just taking it slow day by day. I've been in contact with some people, so I've been working on a lot of good things that are coming up. And um, what else? Oh, I have a website up soon, and I'll have merchandise on there here very shortly. But yeah, I've definitely just been taking it slow. Because personally, I know for myself that things are going to come in, but I want to learn as much as I can, just educate myself as much as I can before I hop into anything too big. So yeah, just definitely learning as I go, and like I said, just staying in contact with people. But yeah, it's definitely exciting for a lot of athletes, just to be able to maybe help their families or something like that, make a little extra money here on the side. But yeah, it's really exciting for us.
Yeah, and I'm happy and excited for all you athletes, because it
Mhm.
does go a long way. We athletes can't really work, or have a job, during season. So this is definitely going to help you guys out. And I will have all the links and social media to Jocelyn Alo, so you guys can support, follow. I appreciate you joining the Wave Room, and it is an honor and a
Yes, thank
pleasure
you
to
for
have
having
you
me.
as a guest. And yeah, I know the bar you already set. I know you're gonna break that next year. You got big things coming.